Good day everyone. We are the group 4 and we will be reporting the effect of crime victimization. But before we start, let me discuss to you the meaning of victim. A victim is a person who suffers harm, injury, loss, or trauma because of the actions of another person, event, or situation. So, ibig sabihin, lahat ng tao ay pwedeng maging biktima. Pwedeng maging biktima dahil sa kapababayaan ng isang tao. Maaari ding maging biktima ng mga natural disasters tulad ng bagyo, biktima ng pagguho ng lupa, biktima ng earthquake, and biktima ng pagbaha. Narito naman yung tatalakay natin sa topic na ito. A victim can experience harm in many ways. Nandito ang physical harm, emotional harm, psychological harm, financial harm, and social harm. Criminal victimization is a frightening and unsettling experience for many individuals. It is unpredictable, largely unpreventable, and often unexpected. So, meaning, ang pagiging biktima ay no exemption. Lahat ng tao ay maaaring biktima dahil ito ay unpredictable, unpreventable, and syempre ito ay unexpected. Parang magtataka ka na lang na bigla na lang yung nangyari sa'yo. Unlike normal life experiences, victimization is not sought out and never welcome. It is debilitating and demoralizing. Its effect can be often long-term and difficult to overcome. So, ang pagiging biktima, hindi lang yan nasaktan ka, nawalan ka ng property, nagkaroon ng damage ang property mo. Syempre, nag-iiwan din ito ng emotional trauma, anxiety, sadness, and na ina-avoid mo yung pakikipag-socialize mo ay nagkakaroon ka ng trust issues sa ibang tao na mahirap i-overcome and kailangan mo tong maranasan over a period of time. Victims may be confused, fearful, frustrated, and angry. They want to know why this happened and why it happened to them. Victims often have no knowledge of who or where to turn in the aftermath of crime. So, ang pagiging biktima, nakararanas ka ng confusion, pagkatakot, at pagkagalit. Parang, for example, masaya ka lang kanina. Okay naman yung relationship mo with your family. Happy ka. And then, suddenly, naglalakad ka and unexpectedly, may nang hold up sa'yo. So, syempre, yung happiness mo, it turns to naging natakot ka, naging confused ka kung bakit ganito yung nangyayari sa akin, at bakit ako yung naging biktima ng ganitong bagay. And, after mo ma-experience yung trauma and yung feeling na natatakot ka, hindi mo alam kung kanino mo sasabihin yung nafe-feel mo kasi hindi ka nila maintindihan unless sila naman yung nakaranas ng ganon. They feel insecure and do not know who to trust or rely on for support, understanding, and help. Not only do they suffer physically, emotionally, psychologically, and financially from their victimization, they are also burdened by the complexity of the criminal justice system. So, they feel insecure, meaning natatakot silang magtiwala sa ibang tao dahil feeling nila hindi sila naiintindihan and nawalan sila ng trust dahil baka yung pinagsasabihan nila is baka ulitin din naman dun sa kanila. Next, how does crime affect people? Crime affects everyone differently. Victimization often causes trauma, and depending the level of trauma that a person has already experienced in their lifetime, crime can be devastating. In general, victimization often impacts people on an emotional, physical, financial, psychological, and social level. So, ang pagiging biktima ay nakadepende sa level ng trauma na nararanasan ng tao. So, pwedeng matrigger yung trauma mo sa ibang bagay and nakaka-apekto ito sa emotional, physical, and psychological mo na nararamdaman. Dito naman, tatalakayin natin ang type of losses. Number 1 is tangible losses. Tangible losses are losses that have a clear, measurable, physical, and financial value. Ito yung losses na may halaga para sa'yo. So, number 1 is property damage and loss. Property damage, taken and not recovered. So, ang example dito is for example, naglalakad ka and then na-hold up ka or parang na-snatch yung phone mo. So, hindi mo na to ma-recovered pa dahil na-snatch yung phone mo. Next, broken window. So, ninakawan kayo. Syempre, nakalak yung pinto. The entry of the intruder is a window. So, na-broken yung window. So, nagkaroon ng property damage. Next is medical care. Payments for hospital and physicians, emergency medical transport, rehabilitation, prescription, medical devices, and premature funeral expenses. So, sa medical care naman is yung pagpapagamot. Syempre, as a victim, for example, biktima ka ng robbery. So, ikaw, nakipaglaban ka. Self-defense and self-defense and defense of property. So, nakipaglaban ka or nag-self-defense ka lang, and then unexpectedly may kutsilyo pala yung suspect, kaya nasugatan ka. So, syempre kailangan mo magpagamot, and then kailangan mo pang magbayad para magpagamot ka. Kailangan mo ng medical care. Next, ito ay pasok sa financial harm. Next is mental health care. Payments for services to crime victims by psychiatrists, psychologists, and social workers. So, dito naman is mental health care. So, nung nagkaroon ng hindi inaasang pangyayari, nagkaroon ka ng trauma, natakot ka, nagkaroon ka ng sadness, and pagka-uwi mo ng bahay after nung mangyari yon, hindi ka makausap ng maayos. Parang nawawala ka sa isip mo, hindi mo ina-expect na ganun yung nangyari, nagulat ka, natakot ka, nagkaroon ka ng trauma. So, you need to seek for a psychiatrist and i-share mo sa kanya yung nafe-feel mo para sa ganun, maintindihan ka niya, mailabas mo yung nafe-feel mo, and ma-overcome mo yung takot na nafe-feel mo. And syempre, you need to pay. You need to pay for them. And ito din ay pasok sa financial harm. So, ang pagiging biktima ay sobrang hirap dahil karoon ka ng physical harm, financial harm, masisira pa yung mental health mo. Next is intangible losses. So, intangible losses are harms that cannot be easily measured in dollars because they involve emotional, psychological, or relational impacts rather than physical or financial damage. So, meaning, yung intangible losses is hindi siya nami-measured ng pera. Hindi mo siya mababayaran ng pera, hindi mo siya mapapalitan ng pera, hindi mo siya pwedeng i-barter or i-swap dahil ito ay emotional and psychological na loss. So, number 1 is pain, physical. Ito yung, ang example dito is, parang, for example, biktima ka ng, robbery ulit. So, nag-self-defense ka, and unexpectedly, nanlaban din yung suspect. So, nagkasuntukan kayo, ganun, and then nagkaroon ka ng pain and physical, nasugatan ka. So, yun yung pain na naiwan sa'yo. And also, pwede din yung parang na-fractured ka, and naiwan yung physical pain sa'yo. So, hindi mo siya mababayaran ng pera, pwede mo siyang ipagamot, pero hindi na maibabalik yung fractured na nangyari sa'yo. Next is suffering, mental, antisocial behavior, emotional trauma. Ito naman yung sinasabi ko in previous na nagkakaroon ka ng takot, sadness, trauma, anxiety, and depression. So, ang pagiging victim ay sobrang hirap. Hindi mo siya hindi mo naman siya pwedeng, for example, nagkaroon ka ng trauma, hindi yun mababayaran ng pera, hindi yun mapapalitan ng pagkain, hindi yun sobrang dali para sa'yo na ma-overcome yung sakit na na-feel mo and takot na na-feel mo nung nangyari yun. Hindi yun basta-basta kapag binigyan ka ng pera, magiging okay ka na kinabukasan. Syempre hindi, di ba? Yung sakit nandito pa rin. And next is reduce quality of life, physical disability and incapacity. So this involve emotional. Ito yung, for example, biktima ka ulit. Example is robbery ulit. Biktima ka ng robbery. Nagkaroon ng self-defense. So, hindi mo ini-expect na may dala palang granada yung suspect. So, yun, tinasabog niya and then naging biktima ka. Nasunog yung balat mo. So, nagkaroon ng internal injury sa muscles mo and that caused na hindi ka makapaglakad. So, parang naka-affect ito sa life experiences mo and syempre, hindi mo na magagawa yung mga ginagawa mo dati nung okay pa yung, nung wala ka pang injury na nafe-feel. Parang, nagkaroon ka ng physical incapacity, hindi ka na makapag-work, hindi ka na matanggap sa work, nabago yung buhay mo dahil sa pangyayaring yun, naging mahirap sa'yo humanap ng trabaho dahil hindi ka matanggap dahil nga, ikaw ay may physical disability or hindi ka makapaglakad. So, yun yung mga maaaring maranasan kapag ikaw ay naging biktima.
Sufferings. Sa suffering is may apat na part. Physical, mental, financial, and emotional. Sa physical is mayroon tayong physical injuries that leads to other health condition. Physiological anxiety, permanent disability, disfigurement, sleep disorders, and inability to work and for sexual assault victims. Sa physical injuries such as guns wound, laceration, broken bones, sprains, and wounds. Sa physical injuries, ito yung mga natamo natin sa, for example, sa accident, yung mga crime victims doon. Hindi yung mga natamo nila. Pag sa shooting is gunshot wounds, tama ng baril. Laceration, broken bones is pagkabali ng buto. Sprains and bumps. Sa sprains is an injury that happen when one of your ligament is stretched or torn. Tapos, physical injuries that leads to other health condition. Pag sa physical injuries that leads to other condition such as heart attack, stroke, fractures from falling, and loss of dexterity. Ito yung nararanasan if ikaw ay kanyang biktima ka, such as ma-heart attack ka. Stroke, fractures from falling is pag nahulog ka. Physiological anxiety, including rapid heart rate, hyperventilation, and stomach distress. Siyempre, ma-anxiety ka at including the rapid heart, pagbilis ng pagtipok ng puso, hyperventilation, and stomach distress. Sa permanent disability naman, if kanari na may yung victim is na aksidente, kapag hindi na bumalik sa dati yung katawan, for example, may naputol yung niya, ganun. Permanent disability na yun. Tapos disfigurement, pagkasira ng mukha, for example, accident mo, tapos nasira yung mukha mo, yung disfigurement. This sleep disorder or problema sa pagtulog. Tapos, inability to work, hindi ka na makakapagtrabaho. For sexual assault victims, possible exposure to sexual transmitted disease, exposure to HIV, and unwanted pregnancy. For example is, yung victim is na-rape, tapos yung suspect is may, for example, disease na HIV, yun may papasa yun sa victim. Tapos pag unwanted pregnancy, siyempre pag ni-rape yung isang victim is hindi inaasahang mabuntis siya. So, dito naman tayo sa mental, mayroong slow thinking, disorientation, memory problems, intrusive memories or flashbacks, nightmares, inability to concentrate, and difficulty in making decision. So, slow thinking is mapapabagal yung pag-iisip mo. Siyempre, mapapabagal kasi nagsasuffer ka in mental. Tapos, disorientation, pagkalito. Ito yung hindi mo ma-figure out kung nasaan lugar ka, anong panahon, and anong situation. Tapos, memory problems is ito yung problem niya sa pag-aalala. Ito yung kakalimutin ka na. Intrusive memories or flashbacks. Naalala mo yung mga nangyari sa'yo during crime. Tapos nightmares, binabangungot ka sa nangyari sa'yo. Tapos inability to concentrate. Hindi makapag-concentrate sa isang bagay. For example, crime victim ka, tapos nag-aaral ka. Ayun, hindi ka makapag-concentrate sa pag-aaral mo. Difficulty in making decision. Hindi makapag-decision or hirap mag-decision sa isang bagay. So, dito naman tayo sa financial. Sa medical bills, medication and prescription drugs, replacement of eyeglass, hearing aids, or other sensory aid, item damage, destroyed or stolen, physical therapy, occupational therapy, job retraining, mental counseling and therapy, loss or damage to personal property, cost of replacing locks and charging security device, and for family of homicide victims, funeral burial expenses and loss of income. Sa medical bills is, syempre pag na-hospital yung victim is tataas yung bills niya if nasa private ka. Tapos, kailangan mo din ng medical supplies dun. Tapos pag medication and prescription drugs is yung mga tinitake nilang medicine. Siyempre, pag sa public naman, hindi nila pinoprovide yung gamot. Kailangan mo pang bilhin sa labas. Tapos, replacement of hearing aids or other sensory aid items, damage, destroy, or stolen. Ito yung pag nasira yung eyeglasses or hearing aids, syempre kailangan mong palitan para makapag-communicate ka sa iba. Physical therapy, ito yung physical, yung mga kailangan i-therapy yung mga buto, muscles sa katawan para makagalaw ka sa pang-araw-araw. Tapos, occupational therapy, daily activities mo. For example, pagsusulat, paghawak, or pagkain, or pagbihis. Ito yung ginagamit sa mga strokes. Tapos, job retraining. Ito yung job retraining is pagsasanay muli para matutunang bagong skills. Tapos, mental health counseling. Ito yung counseling sa mental health. Na ba nagka-anxiety ka, for example, ganun. Ito yung babayaran. Ito yung mga taong babayaran. loss or damage of personal property. Mga nasira o nawalang gamit. For example, yung sa car accident, yung babayadan mo yung nasirang gamit. Tapos, cost of replacing locks and changing security device. I think so. For example, yung sa pagnanakaw ko. And then, nasigyan nila yung lock and tapos, papalitan mo, syempre. For families of homicide victims, funeral and burial expenses and loss of income. Ito yung sa mga, for families ito. Pamilya ng napinsala. Gagastos sila sa funeral ng isang crime victim, burial niya, and expenses and loss of income. Loss of income na nila yun. And emotional naman tayo. Shock, disbeliefs, and denial initially. Victims may find it difficult to believe they have been victim of crime. Mahihirapan silang paniwala na sila ay isang naging biktima, and they even may pretend that they may not pretend na hindi ito nangyari. This reaction can last for a few moments, or they may be present for months and even years. It is not uncommon for victims to assume a childlike state and may even need to be cared by others for some time. It's also common victims to feel stuff and crime occurred when they were in a dreamlike state. Once the initial shock of the crime has worn off, victim may experience other emotions such as anger, fear, frustration, confusion, guilt, shame, and grief. Ito yung sa simula, if crime victim ka, is mahirap tanggapin na nangyari sa iyo yung krimen na yun. Minsan hindi iniisip na lang na hindi talaga nangyari para protektahan ang kanilang sarili. Maglalas ito sa sa ilang moments, buwan or taon. Mafe-feel nila na ay may mga i-experience nila ang other emotions such as maggalit sila, takot, frustration, confusion, guilt, shame, is nahihiya, and grief.
Anger or rage. Victim may be angry with the God, the offender, service provider, family members, friends, the criminal justice system, or even themselves. Many victims experience strong desires for revenge or getting even. Hate may even felt by victims. These strong emotions are often disapproved by the rest of society, which can leave the victim feeling like an outcast. Sinasabi dito, maraming biktima ang nakakaramdam ng matinding galit sa Diyos sa gumawa ng krimen sa pamilya, sa lipunan o maging sa sarili. Maaaring silang magnasa ng paghihiganti dahil hindi ito ay laging tinatanggap ng lipunan. Maaaring makaramdam ang biktima na tila'y sila'y naiiba o hindi naunawaan magkatwiran para sa biktima. Ang magalit sa nananakit sa kanila. Fear or terror. It is common for victims to feel terror or fear following a crime that involved a threat to one's safety or life, or to someone else the victim cares about. Fear can cause a person to have panic attack if they are ever reminded of the crime. Fear can last quite sometimes following the commission of a crime. In under certain circumstances, it can become debilitating. Fear or terror that becomes overwhelming is unhealthy in victims should consult their family physician about it as soon as possible. Sinasabi dito, karaniwan ang matinding takot na matapos ang krimen, lalo na kung may banta sa buhay o sa taong mahal na biktima. Maaari itong magdulot ng panic attack kapag naalala ang pangyayari. Maaaring tumagal ang takot at sa ilang pagkakataon maging sobrang bigat para sa biktima. Kapag hindi na kayang kontrolin, dapat sila ay magpatingin sa doktor. Frustration. Many victims are frustrated by the feeling of helplessness or powerlessness that surface when the crime takes place. This can be especially true if victims were unable to fend off an offender, call for help, or run away. After the crime, victims may continue to feel frustration if they can assist the support and information that necessary to their healing. Sinasabi dito, maraming biktima ang nakakaramdam ng frustration dahil sa kawalan ng pangyayaring habang nagaganap ang krimen, lalo na kung hindi sila nakatakas, nakahingi ng tulong o nakarespondi pagtapos ng insidente. Maaari pa ring lumala ang frustration kung hindi nila makuha ang sapat na impormasyon o suporta kailangan para gumaling. Confusion. Victims of crime may become confused if they are unsure of what actually happened, as crime often occur quickly and are chaotic. Victims might also become confused when searching for answers to questions like, why did this happen to me? It may be impossible to find out why someone else intended to hurt them. Ang sinasabi dito, maraming malito ang biktima dahil hindi nila lubos na naunawaan kung ano ang nangyayari dahil kadalasan ay mabilis at magulo ang mga krimen. Naghahanap sila ng sagot kung bakit yung nangyari sa kanila, ngunit minsan ay walang malinaw na dahilan kung bakit may taong nagnanais manakit.
Guilt or self-blame. Blaming is a common. Karaniwan sa mga biktima is sarili talagang sisisihin nila. Many victims believe they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. At ang laging sabi ng mga taong ito ay nasa maling lugar sa maling oras. The mean is wala silang nagawa sa taong gusto nilang iligtas. And if the victim does not have someone to blame, they will often blame themselves. And yun nga, sinisisi na yung sarili nila. And yun doon yung guilt na bakit hindi nila natulungan yun. And guilt is also common when no offender is found. Kung wala silang makapture or mahanap na suspect, is sarili nila mismo ang sinisisi sa mga nangyari. Later on, when reflecting upon the crime, victims might feel guilty for not doing more to prevent what happened. Pag naalala nila yung mga crime na yun, is nakakaramdam ang tao na to na disappointment or guilt sa sarili niya for that happen. Yun nga, parang ganun. Happen. And saan na tayo? Lastly, some victims will experience survival guilt. They feel guilt that they survived while someone else was injured or even killed. Ito yung mentally na hindi maiiwasan ng victim na feel niya na kasalanan niya ang mga nangyari, na hindi siya wala siyang nagawa habang sinasaktan o pinapatay ang taong iyon. If a loved one is murdered, surviving family was even blame the victim. Too often, society blames victim as well. Kung ang patay ay karelasyon niya mismo is lahat ng tao, pati pamilya, kaibigan, ang karelasyon mong iyon is sa'yo isisisiyang mga nangyari. And for the next topic is shame and humiliation. Sadly, some victims blame themselves, particularly victims of sexual abuse, assault, or domestic violence. Ito yung mga nakaranas ng violence or rape at more on is sinisisi nila ang mga nangyari sa kanila. In crimes involving sexual acts, offender often degrade the victim by making them do humiliating things. Mas lalong sinisisi ng biktima ang kanilang sarili dahil wala silang magawa at sumunod-sunod sa mga gusto ng kriminal, dahil kung umayaw sila, baka magsumbong o maglakas itong mag-picture ng or video. Some victims even feel self-hatred because they believe that they can no longer be loved by those who are close to them. Tipong kukutsayin at sasabihan ng kung ano-ano ang biktima at ang mangyayari is lalayuan siya ng mga taong nasa paligid niya. And another topic is grief or sorrow. Intense sadness is often the most powerful long-term reaction to crime. It is common for victims to become depressed after a crime occurs. Ito yung part na kailangan niya ng makakausap o kaya dadamayan ang biktima dahil posibleng humantong sa depression na pwedeng pumasok sa pagpapakamatay.
These are some ideas that may help you cope with the trauma or loss. First, find someone to talk about how you feel and what you are going through. Keep the phone number of a good friend nearby to call when you feel overwhelmed or feel panic. Pag kinikwento mo daw yung nararamdaman mo sa isang kaibigan, is nababawasan yung sakit, tapos nakakagaan ng pakiramdam kasi alam mo na may nakikinig sa'yo at sumusuporta. Next. Allow yourself to feel pain. It will not last forever. Pag pinipigilan mo daw yung sakit na nararamdaman mo is mas tatagal daw yung pag-recover or paghilom ng sakit. Next. Keep a journal. Pag sinusulat mo daw yung nararamdaman mo is ini-express mo na rin to, though privately. 4. Spend time with other but make time to spend time alone. Pag kasama mo daw yung mga kaibigan mo is nakakalimutan mo panandalian yung sakit. Tapos pag mag-isa ka naman is mas naproproseso mo yung sakit tapos nakakapag-reflect ka. Next, take care of your mind and body. Rest, sleep, and eat regularly healthy meals. Dapat daw malusog yung pangangatawan mo para maproseso mo ng maayos yung mga nangyayari. Next. Make a daily decision which may help you bring back feeling of control over your life. Binabalik nito yung pakiramdam na ikaw yung kumokontrol sa buhay mo. Next, exercise daw not excessively and alternate with a period of relaxation. Nakakatulong daw yung pag-exercise para makalimutan mo panandalian yung sakit tapos gumanda yung mood mo. Next, undertake daily tasks with care. Accidents are more likely to happen after severe stress. Pag kakagaling mo lang daw sa stress or habang may stress ka is iwasan mo daw na or okay na. Undertake daily tasks with care. Accidents are more likely to happen after a severe stress. Mas madalas daw mangyari yung aksidente kapag stress ang isang tao. Kaya be gentle and patient para maiwasan yung mga aksidente. Next. Recall the things that help you during trying and lost and in the past and think about the things that give you hope. Dapat alalahanin mo daw yung mga bagay na nagbibigay sa'yo ng lakas. Next. These are things to avoid. First, be careful about using alcohol or drugs to relieve emotional pain. Becoming addicted not only postpone the healing but also creates a new one. Temporary lang daw yung naibibigay na relief ng alak and pwede pang makapagbigay ng mas malaking problema. Next, make a daily decision but avoid making life-changing decision in immediate aftermath since judgment may be temporarily impaired. Dapat daw na gumawa ka ng decision pero yung hindi malaking decision kasi baka hindi pa daw malinaw yung pag-iisip mo. Next. Don't blame yourself. Dapat wag mo sisihin yung sarili mo kasi nakakadagdag lang yun ng sakit at mas mapapatagal yung paghilom ng sakit tapos mas mahirapan kang mag-move forward. Your emotion needs to be expressed. Try not to bottle them up. For some victims and family of victims, life is forever changed. Life may feel empty and hollow. Life doesn't mean what it used to. Part of coping and adjusting is rendering the future. What seemed important before may not be important now. Many victims find new meaning in their lives as a result of their experience. It is important to remember that emotional pain is not endless and that it will eventually ease. It is important to undo what happened, but life can be good again.
For family and friends of a victim of crime. Offer your assistance even they have asked for help. Help with everyday tasks like cleaning, cooking, and caring for the family, minding the children. Give private time. Don't take their anger or other feelings personally. Don't tell them they are lucky. It was not worse. Traumatized. People are not consoled by such statements. Tell them that you are sorry such an event occurred to them and you want to understand and help them. Stage 1. The stage of crisis. Impact stage. The initial shock right after the event. Recall stage. The emotional reaction that follows often with fear, anger, or sadness. Reorganized stage. The person slowly begins to recover and rebuild normal life. Fear. Many people fear crime, especially in elderly, the poor, and minority group members. Their fear is escalated by lurid news accounts of crime and violence. While hearing about crime causes fear, those who experience it was even more likely to be fearfully in charge that behaviors. Victims of violence, crime are the most deeply affected, fearing a repeat of their attack. Antisocial behavior. There is a growing correlation between crime and victimization. Kids are victims share many of those same characteristics as those who are delinquent, such as antisocial behavior and tendency and impulsive personality. Victims may seek revenge. The people who harm, they who are believed in fault for their problems. In some cases, these feelings become generalized to others who share the same characteristic of their attackers. Social behavior is some victims, especially children, may develop behavior similar to delinquent young. Antisocial tendency and impulsiveness. Yung fair victims are even people when hear about crimes can develop fear. The elderly, the afraid victims of violent crimes are especially likely to fear being or attacked again. Thank you, ma'am.
Characteristics of victims. Meron tayong apat dito. We have 4 here. The first one is gender, age, social status, and then the last one is ethnicity. Okay, let's proceed to the first one, which is the gender. Sabi dito, gender victims refers to the sex of the victim in the context of crime, violence, and harmful act. It identifies whether the victim is male or female, and sometimes may include non-binary or other gender identities in modern studies. So, sinasabi dito sa gender, it can be male or female, but most likely na nagiging victims dito is yung mga female. Why? Or reasons why women are more likely to become victims, because of the first one is gender-based violence. Sabi dito, women are disproportionately affected by domestic violence, sexual assault, and intimate partner violence. Usually, ang nagiging victims dito is mga babae, yung mga binubugbog ng mga partner nila. And then the second one is physical vulnerability. On average, women are physically smaller and weaker than men, which can make them more vulnerable to physical attacks. Isa din yun sa reason kung bakit naging most likely to become a victim is women. Dahil mas mahina sila, mas maliit sila compare sa mga lalaki. Right? Let's proceed to the second one, which is the age. Sabi dito, age of victims refers to the age of group of the people become a victim of crime or harm. Age is an important factor in understanding patterns of victimizations, as certain age groups are more vulnerable to specific types of crimes. Sabi dito, victims can belong to any group, or victims can belong to any age group. Children, adolescents, adults, or even mga matatanda ay pwedeng maging victims. But children and adolescents are more likely to become a victim or they are more vulnerable to bullying, exploitation, and online abuse. So ayun, sila yung mga most likely to become a victims when it comes to the age. Proceed to the social status. Sabi dito, social status of victims refers to the socio-economic positions of individuals who become victims of crime or harm. This includes their income level, occupations, educations, and overall place in the society. Social status can influence both type of victimization and the risk of becoming a victim. So, meron tayong breakdown by social status dito. The first one is lower class or poor, in Tagalog mahirap.
Sabi dito, often at risk for street crimes, domestic violence, and pagnanakaw, due to limited resources, unsafe living conditions, and lack of access to protections. So most likely to become a victim is yung mga mahihirap because they are lack of protections and resources. Kaya sila nagiging biktima ng mga street crimes, ganyan, pagnanakaw, ganyan. And then the second one is middle class. Sabi dito, may experience crimes like fraud or workplace-related victimizations. Generally, have more access law enforcement and social support than the lower class individuals. Then the last one is upper class or affluent. Ito yung mga mayayaman. And sabi dito, vulnerable to white-collar crimes, scams, and targeted theft or kidnapping. So, pang ibang level yung mga nasa upper class. The last one is ethnicity. Ethnicity of victims refers to the ethnic or cultural background of individuals who experience victimizations. Ethnicity can influence both and likelihood of being targeted and the type of victimization experience, especially in societies with diverse populations or social inequalities. So we have breakdown by ethnicity again. The first one is majority ethnic groups often have more social protections, legal access, and community support. May experience general crimes like theft, assault, or domestic violence. Number two, minority or marginalized ethnic groups more likely to face targeted crimes, discrimination, or social exclusions. Vulnerable to hate crimes, racial profiling, or cultural-based violence. Then, third one is indigenous or tribal communities. Often face exploitation, displacement, or specific crime linked to land and resources. Example, in multi-ethnic societies, minority groups may report higher instances of discrimination related to violence. So, ayun yung four characteristics of victims: the gender, age, social status, and ethnicity.
E. Repeat victimization. Households that have experienced victimization in the past are the one most likely to experience it again in the future. Most repeat victimization occurs soon after a previous crime has occurred, suggesting that repeat victims share some personal characteristics that make them a magnet for predators. Repeat victimization refers to a situation where the same person, household, place, or business become a victim of a crime more than once over a certain period of time. In simple term, it means being victimized again after already being a victim once before. Example, a person is robbed and then robbed again a few weeks later. Isa pa, a household that was burglarized is broken into again. A student is repeatedly bullied. Yung example. Types of victim. A. Homicide victim. Homicide is an act of a human killing other human. Criminal homicide takes several and includes certain unintentional killings. The crime committed in a criminal homicide is determined by the state of mind of the different and status. Defining the crime. Murder, for example, is usually intentional crime. Ang homicide victims are people who have been killed by another person. In other words, a homicide victim is the person who dies as a result of someone else's action, whether the killing was intentional or unintentional. Important points of homicide victim. Homicide is the killing of one human being by another. The victim is the person who is killed. Homicide can be a crime like murder or manslaughter, or in rare case legally justified. For example, self-defense. But the person who dies is still called the homicide victim. Types of homicide. For clarity, murder, manslaughter, justifiable homicide.
Sexual violence. Definition. Ang sexual na karahasan ay sumasaklaw sa anumang sexual na gawain, komento o pag-abuso na walang pahintulot anuman ang relasyon o lugar. Prevalence and impact. Ito ay isang malawakang paglabag sa karapatang pantao na may malubhang panandalian at pang matagalang epekto sa pisikal at mental na kalusugan, kabilang ang mas mataas na panganib ng pagpapakamatay o infeksyon sa HIV. Nature. Bihira itong krimen na dulot ng matinding emosyon, bagkus ay isang agresibong kilos na ginagamit upang pagpahayag ng kapangyarihan at dominasyon. Challenge. Ang phenomenon ay lubhang minamarkahan, malawak na hindi na iuula at isang napapabayaang larangan ng pananalsik. Next, female as victim. Form of sexual violence. Nakalista sa teksto ang ilang panyo bilang ang sistematikong panggagahasa sa panahon ng armadong labanan, paggagahasa sa loob ng kasal o relasyon, panggagahasa ng mga estranghero, hindi gusto sexual na pag-abuso sa panliligalig, sexual na pang-aabuso sa mga bata at mga kapansanan sa pilitang kasal, pagtanggi sa pagkarapatang gumamit ng contraception sa pilitang pagpapalaglag, female genital mutilation sa pilitang pag-inspeksyon ng pagkabirhen, sa pilitang proteksyon o traffic para sa sexual na pagsasamantala. Wartime context. Ang sexual na karahasan ay inilarawang bilang isa sa pinakakaraniwan at malawakang paglabag sa panahon ng digmaan. Madalas ginamit bilang paraan ng pagkikitdigma upang pahirapan, saktan, hamakin, takutin, parusahan o guluhin ang mga komunidad at demoralisahin ang mga kalalakihan.
Theories of sexual violence. First is sexual motivation. Sexual motivation, from the word motivation, ito yung dahilan o drive kung bakit nagkakaroon ka ng sexual desire o pagnanasa. Example ng sexual motivation is pagkagusto mo sa isang tao, kaya ka nagkakaroon ng sexual interest. Isa pang example nito is yung visual or physical attraction. Kapag may nakita kang physically attractive. Next is yung socialization. Socialization, proseso kung saan natututunan ng tao ang violent behavior mula sa pamilya, komunidad, media, at kapaligiran. Example ng socialization is bata na lumaki sa violent household. Mas mataas ang chance maging violent. Isa pang example niya is kapag normal sa barkadang mag-away ang activity, maaari itong matulad ng bata. In short, kung ano yung nakita mo sa paligid mo, parang magiging normal na lang sa'yo at ma-adapt mo.